wherever you may be. Welcome to episode 99 of the One Perspective to Another podcast. I didn't want to do a podcast. I just didn't really think that I would be in the right frame of mind to address things, but just thinking to myself, I just had to do it anyway because I wouldn't be me if I didn't. This episode is about what's going on in the world, and the title is, I guess you can say, just tone deaf to racism. America's on fire. The events of Fernando Castile, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and most recently the events of George Floyd have put the world on alert, the world on notice, black people on, I don't even know what the word is to describe the feelings, the emotions, the pain, the hurt. It's just overwhelming. Like I said in a couple of writings, it's just a black anxiety. A couple of things that I want to talk about are just protesters and looting, and I'm not going to lie, I'll just go straight into it. I apologize if this podcast is all over the place, because I'm kind of all over the place, but do my best to just put my thoughts into voice and just express what I've been feeling, my emotions, my thought process with everything that's going on. And first I'll just start off with tone deaf to racism. I've been watching a lot of videos, a lot of people, not videos, it's just like all the looting and all the shit, but just like people's perspectives on what's going on. And be mindful of who you see that says that they support you, like what they're doing right now. Be really cautious and alert to what people are doing and what people are saying, who's really supporting, where will that support be later on. Because a lot of people are tone deaf. The first thing, notice the people who are always just so quick to go to the looting. Yes, the looting is next level, but when you have been feeling this way your entire life, when you've been feeling just lesser than anything for that amount of time, you've never been on that other side of the spectrum, so you can't fully understand. They're going to just make out the things that affects the world the most. But they don't say anything about George Floyd. They don't say anything about racism in America. The only thing that they speak about is the looting. And that is very disrespectful and very hurtful in that sense. But yes, that's the part that also gets me frustrated, is because yes, of course, nobody wants to see buildings being burned. Nobody wants to see communities being broken down and shit. But like at the same time, when your frustrations are so high and you've been treated and abused and see this shit happening since March till now, of just innocent people being killed and people being treated less than anything than equal, it's very upsetting. And that's why I say it's a tone deaf to racism, because they can be so quick to talk about looting, but for the past 2 months they're idle as can be, nowhere to be found, going on about their day, posting their I'm a Savage videos and dancing and all that shit. Like it just doesn't make a lot of sense. So just in that sense, be aware of what people are posting, who's saying what. Just be mindful. Be very mindful. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was people who are hating on protesters. When you have something like what's going on in America right now, there's not going to be an absolute protest that's powerful and peaceful. There are going to be stragglers. There are going to be people who are the youth who are taking advantage of the moment, using that leverage and getting what they want. There's always going to be different versions of those apples and those oranges. But at the end of the day, the power of a protest is people who are protesting have each other's backs. There's videos of people who are stopping people from looting and stopping people from setting shit on fire, stopping people from tagging shit. But of course, the media and what you see isn't going to be able to show that. The only way that you will know that is if you've ever really protested yourself, because you know it's a sense of protection and peace when you're protesting. You are a part of the whole. It's like being in a beehive, all in a sense. Like you all are for one and one is for all. There is no separation. There is no, oh, I want you to get tear gas first because you here. No, it's a lot of serenity inside of a protest, and a lot of people who are talking shit about it are probably 99% of people who have never protested before for anything, not just fucking racism in America. So just be mindful of that too. I know it's a lot of mayors and a lot of people saying like they don't like the protesting and it's bad, but they also understand how it feels to be a black mother or to be a black father, to be an 18-year-old black man in America, to be a black man in America, period. It's just a different mindset. And to shout out the good people who've all been sending me messages saying that they support me and that they're with me. It's also kind of a moment of awakening, I guess you can say. A lot of people say the same thing, that I'm that educated, smart black man. Like I've never, like I hate it, but I love it, because why does it take these moments for you to say those kind of things? Why does it take the world being on fire for you to say something like that? But I guess that's how people perceive me, or those people who stand with me perceive me. So I appreciate that too, but it's perspective. It makes me think all those things. Like I said earlier, be aware of your friends or foes, what they're saying and what they're doing right now in these moments. The next thing is like, what conversations, what debates, what protesting are you doing? What are you doing for your world, for your peace, for your mental health? Like, you gotta take a step back. You gotta get off social media. You can't watch the news. Like, just want to throw that in there just to be mindful of your own sanity, because this is a lot. It's overwhelming. It's anxiety filled. It's a new age and it's a new world, and I hate to say it, but it's always a cycle. I can't tell you how many times I've done a podcast on a name by somebody being deceased, somebody being shot, somebody being murdered. I did one about Aubrey, like the end of February. I remember it. It's just disheartening. Just make sure that you just watch your six and take care of you, take care of your family, take care of your loved ones. The next thing that I want to talk about is Trevor Noah. He did a 18-minute video about what's going on in the world. He said something that was really important to me. I might put it in right here, make a timestamp, but if I don't, he just talked about, or if I put it in and you're listening.
Society? And fundamentally, when you boil it down, society is a contract. It's a contract that we sign as human beings amongst each other. We sign a contract with each other as people, whether it's spoken or unspoken, and we say, amongst this group of us, we agree in common rules, common ideals, and common practices that are going to define us as a group. That's what I think a society is. It's a contract. And as with most contracts, the contract is only as strong as the people who are abiding by it. But if you think of being a black person in America who is living in Minneapolis or Minnesota or any place where you're not having a good time, Ask yourself this question when you watch those people. What vested interest do they have in maintaining the contract? Why don't we all loot? Why doesn't everybody take? Because we've agreed on things. There are so many people who are starving out there. There's so many people who don't have. There are people who are destitute. There are people who, when the virus hit and they don't have a second paycheck, already broke, which is insane, but that's the reality. But still, think about how many people who don't have, the have-nots, say, you know what, I'm still going to play by the rules even though I have nothing, because I still wish for this society to work and exist. And then some members of that society, namely Black American people, watch time and time again how the contract that they have signed with society is not being honored by the society that has forced them to sign it with them. When you watch Ahmaud Arbery being shot and you hear that those men have been released, and were it not for the video and the outrage, those people would be living their lives, what part of the contract is that in society? When you see George Floyd on the ground and you see a man losing his life in a way that no person should ever have to lose their life, at the hands of someone who's supposed to enforce the law, what part of the contract is that? And a lot of people say, well, what good does this do? Yeah, but what good doesn't it do? That's the question people don't ask the other way around. What good does it do to loot Target? How does it help you to loot Target? Yeah, but how does it help you to not loot Target? Answer that question. Because the only reason you didn't loot Target before was because you were upholding society's contract. There is no contract if law and people in power don't uphold their end of it. And that's the thing I think people don't understand sometimes, is that we need people at the top to be the most accountable, because they are the ones who are basically setting the tone and the tenor for everything that we do in society. It's the same way we tell parents to set an example for their kids, the same way we tell captains or coaches to set an example for their players, the same way you tell teachers to set an example for their students. The reason we do that is because we understand in society that if you lead by example, there is a good chance that people will follow that example that you have set. And so if the example law enforcement is setting is that they do not adhere to the laws, then why should the citizens of that society adhere to the laws when in fact the law enforcers themselves don't?
Or after listening, he talked about how what's going on in the world and why Black people are so angry is not just from these most recent killings. It's not from these videos and these 4 people or these countless people now, that their contract with society has not been fulfilled. And I see Stephen Jackson said that Jalen Rose said that he wished white people loved him the same way he loved Black culture. And I disagreed with that, because I don't even want your love. I just want it to be treated as an equal. I don't want to have to always start from behind. I want to start on the starting line at the same time as you. But that's what has been going on for hundreds of years. 1960 was not that long ago. And for everybody who doesn't know about the history, that's why I want to shout out my teacher, Miss Georgia Gayton, for being a pivotal piece in teaching me about Black history in this world and everything that came with it, from civil rights to everything, justice, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, from everything, Selma, all that shit, anything and everything. She taught that. R.I.P. to her too. But back to Trevor Noah, it's just that society's contract with Black people hasn't been fair. And when the world keeps that contract going and we don't have anything right, why are we playing a game that is not fair? But you want us to be fair to you, but you're not fair to us. It's just simple things, simple fairness, simple shit. It always boils down to simple shit. Like, somebody hates you because of the color of your skin. we were never equal in this world to begin with. We've always been behind the ball. We've always been behind. And that's something that you are taught as a black man, because not because you want to hear it, because it's what's real. It's what's the world is. If you travel abroad, you can see the way people look at you when you're black. You can see the way the world treats you because you're black. Yes, it's changed somewhat. There's more black excellence in the world, but at the end of the day, shit like this that happens, it always just brings you back down to earth, and it's exhausting. It's tiring. It's I don't even know what the word is anymore. It's so many words. It's so many different emotions. It's everything wrapped into one. But I'll keep getting off topic. But him saying that contract is not, it's null and void, and pretty much we just fucking sick of this shit. And it leads me to that next question of like, what do we do? What debate can we have? What change can we have? What logistics can be done to change these things? But how can you change something that is a moral decision, something that is taught by their family, by their people, by their teacher? Like, how do you put a law on moral? And that's what I've been racking my brain around, because it ain't gonna take no president. It ain't gonna take no leader that's going to take away racism like that. And even if they did, it's not going to be overnight. And it just leads me into where we are right now. Like, this is the cycle. And the uproar is happening because we want to break this cycle. And it's so prevalent right now because it's just at a heightened pressure, and it needs to break. And this is showing why it needs to break. People looting, people breaking shit, people protesting, people marching together, people in silence protesting, people with signs, people out in the streets, people at fucking the Capitol, people at police stations. It's not chaos. It's pain. And it's very hurtful to see. It's hurtful to be a part of. It's hurtful to be in this because of the color of your skin. It's very degrading. It's very I couldn't even tell you other words. It's just all just a blur right now. But yeah, I just want to give him a shout out for saying that, because everything is connected. It's always connected. He talked about the domino effects of it too. And from just events with Karen. I don't even know what her real name is. The chick in New York City, like, using her privilege to call the cops because she know how the cops will protect her over a black man. Like, shit like that. Like, how do you protect yourself against that? How do you protect yourself against that? You can't, and it's difficult, and that's another reason why it makes me angry. It's frustrating because how do you win? Like, and I don't mean like I want to win. It's just like, how do you combat that? That's why people are fucking angry. That's why people protesting. That's why people doing what they doing, because it's just extremely frustrating and exhausting to be in a position where there is no solution. This math problem is moral. And a lot of people are just racist because they've been taught that. And I don't even have the words for it anymore. I have no words. Just a whole lot of emotions of anger and fear and questions and why and how and just everything. I had a whole podcast planned for all of this, or before all of this, but I'm on episode 99 and I wanted 100 to be special, but I'm pretty sure that episode 100 is going to be more about this and more about what's going on in the world. I just wanted to put something out to make sure that I stay consistent, keep some kind of peace of mind, some kind of power to me to keep my sanity. But it's just that, justice to me is just treat me as a human being. I don't need you to love me. I don't need you to put me on a pedestal. Just treat me like a normal human being. That's always been my perspective. That's always been what I've given to the world, the value that I've given to people. Like, I don't care what the fuck you look like. And when you break that shit down, it just sounds so fucking stupid. But when you know about what is it called? I can't think of it right now. Systemic racism of being valued less than a human being. Why would America love something that they thought was a piece of shit? Why would they do that? And that's the real question that we have to bring to light. Because yes, there are white people and other races who treat black people with respect and shit. But there is a government and a system that purposely puts people in positions not to fail, but to put them where they can control them. And that's where a lot of the frustration comes, because we can do so much, but sometimes days like this and weeks like this and months like how it's been has been crazy, all on the backdrop of the coronavirus shit. And I just can't even believe this is the world right now sometimes. It's far-fetched as fuck. Like, who's writing this? Who is writing this script right now? And the fucked up part about it is that somebody really is writing this. Somebody is putting these things in motion. Somebody's putting these things in action. And what are we going to do next? It's hard to be that person where you always want to be on the righteous side and say, like, I want to treat my people as individuals. And I guess that's a lot of the times where that Martin Luther King aspect of it comes in inside of me, in my own mind, in my own mind palace. And then there's that Malcolm side of me that just gets frustrated and knows that it's hard to you can't change this shit overnight. You can't change this fight without fucking dropping a nuke. It's not gonna happen like that. And it puts you in a parallel to just be like, what the fuck is going on? What do we do? What can we do next? What's the plan? What's the action? We talk about we need a leader, but like, where is the plan? Shout out to Town Business. It's been crazy in Oakland the past 2 nights. Just everything's fucked up. Everything in the world is. And that's another thing too. Like, none of this is new. Black people have been feeling like this for a long time. It's just overflowing right now. And to end it now, like, I really don't have no answers. I'm just coming on here to vent. I always talk about this being my diary, so I guess this is my episode diary. I just want to give love and light and say thank you to all the people who said that they supported me. Shout out to everybody who's doing the right. We love you. We appreciate you. Shout out to every black person in the world who's out there protesting peacefully or unpeacefully. I'm still with you, because it's just exhausting. So for Philando Castile, for Aubrey, for George, I don't want you to just be a hashtag and a name. Like, I want this to be for a reason. And this overflowing maybe hopefully will bring something, a spark of something. But I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you and tell you that I have it, because I don't. I'm still trying to figure it out right now, but maybe that'll be on my next episode, because I'll have a whole week to just digest, because it's still just a lot. And I don't blame you if you disconnected. I don't blame you if you've taken your own mental health into consideration and have just skipped out on this. But if you blacked it, it's okay. But if you something else and you ain't said nothing about it, like I said earlier, be mindful of who's saying what. So on that note, without further ado, This is my mood right now, the song. I think I've played this song before on here, but I think it's just fitting because it's how exactly I feel. I'm just sick and tired. So, with that, as always, it's just my perspective, and I will catch you on the flip side.
I'm sick and tired of being criticized. I'm sick and tired of barely getting by. I'm sick and tired of not living right. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of being pushed aside. I'm sick and tired of calling folks for rides. I'm sick and tired of this penny life. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
What is life? What is making it? For peace is there a price? They tell me if you're rich, you only got to worry about more shit. The house and the car notes, child support and kin people. Kick those, more money, more problems. That's how. Man, I'm sick and tired of running and ducking. Quit running, then. Especially when I ain't did nothing. Do something then. Out here in these cold streets, hustling. Pole trying to make this dough before the police bust it in. Whoa. And then it's what it could have been, should have been. Find yourself outside looking in, giving up, feeling stuck. Mad at the world cause you down and they getting up. Mad at yourself cause you know you
I'm
shouldn't
tired
be
and
giving
sick,
up.
a bum and rise. On top of that, my 9 to 5 sucks for a couple bucks and change. Now what's the reason why my luck don't amount to fuck? No matter how hard I try, I'm stuck in a 22. Now catch me when I'm sick and tired
of being criticized.
So
I'm sick and tired of barely getting by. I'm sick and tired of not living right. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
It's alright.
I'm sick and tired of being pushed aside. I'm sick and tired of calling folks for rides. I'm sick and tired of this penny life. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Probably check this out. I'm getting tired of mama breaking her neck for the paycheck. They making her sweat. It seems like every day she's stressed.
I've had it up to here with pussy putters acting like we owe you something. Let's see you know who, and I'm supposed to throw you
I'm
something.
getting tired of daddy punching the clock, scarring his knuckles. He taught it to hustle. He feeling pain deep in his muscles.
Seems like the media portrays against being rich, like we shouldn't enjoy shrimp and occasional trips.
While my baby brother scrapping with his baby mother, deep down I know he love her, but he should've worn a rubber.
I'm sick and tired of players down to do us bodily harm, like them country boys that have to rain fire and all.
And my little sister thinks she grown, wanna make it on her own. I ain't bring you in this world, but you still my baby girl.
I'm fed up when I feel like this. My niggas, keep your hands up. We pray to kneel for this.
I'm sick and tired of being criticized. I'm sick and tired of barely getting by. I'm sick and tired of not living high. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
It's alright.
Sick and tired of being pushed aside. I'm sick and tired of calling folks for rides. I'm sick and tired of this penny life. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Keep it real, remember God. Don't change, sign this. Don't forget where you come from. You got some money, give me some. You different, fuck you. Man, I got your first tape. You always gonna be Vito to me.
Know what you mean, dog. Tired of people who complain, always about the same thing. First you learn to maintain, after that create change. See, we getting up and getting out, playing with you, joking and you kidding about.
But they say I ain't living right all day and night. I struggle, hustle just to pay the dues. Now I gotta keep the lights on and ain't got no time for laying snooze. Damn man, who made these rules when thinking about the William Hughes? I'm sick and tired, but I can't stop no matter if they say it blues.
Now my wife is curious about how much she could get me on for life insurance. But still was bumming, no problem. That's when life was purest. More money, more problem. That's right, the tourists.
I'm sick and tired of being criticized. I'm sick and tired of barely getting by. I'm sick and tired of not living right. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of being pushed aside. I'm sick and tired of calling folks for rides. I'm sick and tired of this penny life. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of being criticized. Sick and tired of barely getting by. Sick and tired of not living right. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. Sick and tired of being pushed aside. Sick and tired of calling folks for rides. Sick and tired of this penny life. Sick and tired of being sick and tired.